All right, so just got done seeing Toy Story 5, and it was good. It it was not it wasn't like a great experience, or it didn't seem like it was really doing anything that was like that made me feel like I was getting something more than what I was expecting. And I was just expecting just another good story with these characters, nothing more, nothing less. Uh, and that's basically it. There's a couple of good jokes here and there. The overall story is good. I felt that it was a bit too simple as far as what the point of the story was getting across, because by the time it got into the third act, it really started kind of reversing on what you thought that it was trying to build up to, and it seemed like it seemed like they had a good idea, but then they were afraid to really go with the idea because it, it, it probably would have been maybe too negative of a direction. So they just kind of started reversing everything in the third act to try and wrap it up as neatly as possible. Um, and so that was very shaky. Some of the decisions in the third act. Um, it's really hard to really think critically about a movie like this because it's like there's a lot of things that if it was in a live action movie or something like that, it would be like this is really not making sense. But that does not happen too much in this. Um, I mean, it's a really basic storyline, so it's really hard to have anything, really bad about it. I do think that. I mean, there's obviously kind of like a villain character in this, but it's not really a villain character. It's more a villain of things that are in present day society, um, rather than any particular characters being like. I mean, like I said, I mean, I remember the first movie quite a bit. Um, Not so much the second one, and not so much the third one, but I think the Sid character in the first movie was a great villain, as far as a PG rated kids movie goes. And in this movie, yeah, I mean, if you watch it, you'll see what I mean. But they could have done a lot better with that, or stick to what they should have, what it felt like it was being set out as. So basically, the entire time I'm like, I don't think they're going to go like I don't think they're going to go as far as what they should be going, to be able to prove their point. And then when they don't, then things kind of fall apart a little bit when it comes to trying to have I'm a little shaky on the message, but the overall message is good and interesting. I just do not like the payoffs. Uh, Overall, there's not much to say. I mean, it's a good movie. There's a good story going on. There's nothing really too negative to really point at and say, other than just lack of a good direction that you knew that it was not going to end up in, and then how it unfolds not so great. There could have been a better villain overall, and the story could have been a little bit more deeper. Uh, there was opportunities that that were paid off, but not necessarily in the best of ways. It came off as just a good movie, an easy watch. Probably not something I would revisit. When it comes to me in the Toy Story franchise, I'm like, I'll probably just stick with one, and maybe I'll give 2 and 3 and 4 a chance, another watch. Nothing I really dislike about those movies. It's just not something that I really sit down to watch. But I don't have any qualms about sitting down to watch this one this evening. And overall, I think it's good. I think there's some things that definitely could have been worked on, but they're not that big of a deal in the overall grand scheme of things. I have no idea what kids are going to think about this one. It's very hard. It's very hard for me to tell that. I don't think it's as funny as the first movie. I don't think it's as well directed as the first movie, and it doesn't have that it doesn't draw you in like the first movie does, as far as like getting into the action of it. So I think that's part of the, and maybe it's because the volume in the theater was not very loud, and maybe it's because they could have turned up the lights on the 3D. Maybe that had some to do with it, but it never really felt like it drawed you in like it should have, and that was part of it. It felt like I was just kind of watching things happen rather than being invested into it. I'll say half of that is probably just a lack of energy in the movie, and probably a little bit is definitely maybe having the volume low and having the lights a little bit dimmer than what they should be for 3D. But yeah, other than that, I thought it was good. And let me know what you thought, and I'll catch you in the next one.